problem.
No
Let
problem.
me see if I can walk out if the Wi-Fi will stretch, so I can give you a little. Have a wonderful day. Look, let it be seen.
Wow.
Nevis you see in the distance, and
I'm so jealous
wonderful
right now.
property. And I'm super happy. My room is at the very end over there, so nobody's looking at me, and I can just do my own thing in my room, which is nice.
Nice, nice, nice.
I'm gonna get in trouble for not wearing my mask while I'm walking around, so let me go sit back down.
Okay.
Awesome.
So where did you just come back from for your quarantine?
Well, I've been away to Zambia, but I had to spend the night in New York, had to spend the night in Dubai to get to Zambia from St. Kitts.
Yeah.
And where else did I go? I went to Monaco for a conference after that. And then in order to fly home, I had to spend 2 nights with my family in Amsterdam, who I haven't seen in 2 years. So
Oh yeah.
I was really excited about that and had a great time. I feel recharged from my family because the trip was actually really stressful.
Oh
Really
wow.
stressful. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So how many days left have you got of quarantine?
I'm supposed to leave tomorrow, but it depends when I get the PCR test results back because they've been coming back the following morning. So
Oh,
I might have to sacrifice myself for one more night in here.
okay. Okay. All right.
Could be worse.
Yes, but it's been a minute. I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't like
I
spoken
know.
to you in
How
a
are you
while.
still so gorgeous?
No, likewise. Haven't seen you in
Oh,
a minute.
wow.
Haven't seen you in a
But see,
minute.
now I stood up. I have to fix my makeup again, so I
No,
look
you
half
still look
decent.
good.
Yeah,
Don't
okay,
worry
I'm back.
about it. But yeah,
Oh, nice to see you. How have you
yeah,
been?
I've been all right. I've just been promoted at work, so I'm just getting my feet or getting used to the new role. It's very intense, so it's more
What's the new
technical.
role?
The new role is a genius role, so it's more technical. So I
Check
repair
you
computers
out.
and stuff. Yeah. So I'm
That's
getting used to
fantastic.
that. Yeah, I know, I know. So it's just one step. There's another step after this as well. So it's just one step of like going
But only
forward.
one more step to CEO? I thought there was a couple more, but I mean, if that's how you roll, then that's how you roll.
Well, and I'm trying to be like you, so pacemaker.
I'm
So
trying to stay like me too. It's not easy.
okay. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. All right.
Awesome.
I mean, all right. So the reason why
So what's gonna happen? What are we doing? Tell me.
right, I'll tell you. So the reason why I asked you on this call is basically we did some branding for you some years ago, and we thought it would be great to give insight in terms of like who we've been working with and the reason behind their branding and who they are actually. So a little insight to who you are and how you became a brand, and like just more a bit about your personality. It's not an interview. It's more just a maybe showcase maybe some dreams and some goals and some driving factors behind that in terms of how you started out and how you got to where you are now, and maybe some things happened in life. I don't know if you want to share which changed your career path, anything like that. But
Well,
this
you
is
know
going to be
me. I'm
just
an open book. You only have to ask. So I'm
oh,
the
you
worst
open
person
book.
to keep secrets about myself because I'll tell anyone. You just have to ask me.
Okay, all right. So
I'm pretty
um,
open. Yeah.
so let me just introduce anyone that's been watching, well, is going to be watching this. Everyone will probably know I'm Nate McKenzie, founder of Two Pencils on a Pad. I'm going to be interviewing Rachel, and the reason why behind it is just so we can get more insight, which I've just explained already. But if we go back to when we first met, I don't even know what year it was when we first met. I can't remember. We met on a set of Akala's video, Roll With Us. I don't even know how old I was then. I can't even remember. And then like we've been like friends. We only
So this was
reconnected.
before I started stalking you in the Apple store, right? Because just to get my timing correct, because that's pretty much I had
Okay.
a phone problem like all the time just so I could come and stalk Nathan because he would just giggle and not say anything back. So I thought it was more fun to just keep going to the Apple store with random phone problems. And yeah, it worked out for me. Sorry, too honest. I
Okay.
can hold back. I can hold back.
No, let's do it out and let's go for it. Oh wow. All right. I was not expecting you to say that. But woo, where's my water? I'm gonna need that in a minute. So yeah, we
Yes.
met like years ago on a music video shoot, and then we reconnected. I think I actually found you. I think you either put it on a Facebook status that your phone wasn't working or something. And then, funny enough, you came into the store the next day complaining, and I knew who you. Obviously, you haven't seen me in years. And I was like, "Yep, I can deal with it. I know the problem." And then ever since then, we've been very good friends. You know, like so.
Yeah.
And then,
Nathan's awesome. By the way, you introduced yourself with first and last name, so I'd like to do the honors and also.
oh yeah, sorry, do apologize.
So it's Rachel Ritfeld, yeah. So yeah, okay, carry
Oh,
on.
sorry, dude. Sorry.
No, no, that's okay. That's okay.
Um,
By the way, I'm not crying. I'm allergic to air conditioning, so my eyes just water. So if I look like I'm crying, forgive me, because I'm not. It's just AC has impact on my system.
okay, no worries. Let's go into some nitty gritty. So like
Sounds
I've
good.
done how we've met and how we know each other. But how did it all start in terms of your brand and who you are? Like how did it all start? Where did it come from? Like, when did you think
Um,
you was gonna when was you did you always know like oh actually let's introduce yourself as who you are and what you do. There we go. So everyone has an idea. Because you know what? I've never Googled you before. I Googled you yesterday and I was like, wow. So yeah, you could go for it.
so to you, I was just a random girl who used to come stalk
Nah,
you in
no,
the
you know
Apple
this.
store.
You're being
Because I
silly.
mean,
I teed myself. You wasn't random, but I googled and I was like, oh, I didn't know some of this stuff, which was surprising. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
so I'm not very good at talking about myself. So let
If
me
you
see.
are
So no, to give it an overview like this, I find it a little bit hard, but
okay,
I will say, so I have spent 20 years in media entertainment. Started off as a model. I was discovered in Belgium, walking down the street. As someone asked me if I wanted to model, and it kind of started from there. And I was living in Belgium for, at that point, throughout my teens for about 7 years. And then I moved to England to go to university, and I wanted to continue. So I actually went to university in Brighton. I would go up and down most days to go to castings, go to, agencies and try and make it. And it went really well, especially when I moved to London. I thought, oh my God, I'm not making enough money to warrant to move to London. But as soon as I got there, everything just kind of fell into place. And I had a really awesome career that spanned over almost 20 years in modeling, which went into presenting and a bit of acting, but I've also done, lots of spokeswoman stuff for different charities. I tend to be quite outspoken on certain topics that are close to my heart. And that has carried me throughout that 20 years. And then a couple years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago now, I just had this really strong feeling that there was something else for me out there. I wanted something different. I wanted a change of course. I wanted to explore new things. I wanted to live the life that I escaped to on vacation every day. Hence, what you saw in the opening video of my quarantine. I now live in the Caribbean. I just came to try it out for 3 months, 2.5 years ago, and I never went back to London. Like, so the best decision I made for my family is the best decision I made for my daughter. I have a much more outspoken, wonderful, full of personality little girl who was a little wallflower in London. And even for me, it's been amazing. I have a complete career change. I went from entertainment, film, that kind of life to banking. I do global business development for an international bank, and travel the world for it, and I love it. So more than anything else, if I haven't proven diversity and ability to morph into new things and just carry on a story and lots of different categories and topics, that's me.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. You did some films. So you was on Google. I think you come up as a British actor or actress. So I was like, okay. But then I saw you've been in Mission Impossible.
I had a small part in that, but I mean, I mean, it's funny because I don't consider myself an actress. I spent 20 years kind of being guided by what other people felt like was the right career move for me. And I'd say, especially in the early stages of my career, I was more reactive. It's
Yeah.
similar to the story of being discovered on the street. It's like, oh, you should be a model. And I went, okay. So I have maybe a day of, okay, I'll just go with the flow. And then I go into like complete military. I'm going to master this. You will not mess with me, like, but it always started with a reaction and then an action. And I think throughout that 20-year span, I learned and realized that I enjoy being myself more than I enjoy being anybody else. Like, so for that reason, I would say I really enjoyed modeling. It took me all over the world. It has pros and cons, right? Because you're constantly fixated on things that are wrong with you. Oh, if only you were a little smaller here or a little bigger there, or do you know what I mean? Like, so you're preconditioned to always focus on what could be better about you. And that, it requires a certain strength of character to withstand 20 years of that.
Yeah.
And I think as I morphed into, doing more acting, a lot of commercials, a little bit of, film and TV, I just realized I enjoy being myself the most, whatever that meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's nice. That's nice. Did you was discovered in when you were like 15?
Yeah,
Yeah.
15.
Did you when you like started, was someone discovered you, did you ever think, oh, this is not for me? Or did you think this is not worth it? Or was it always like straight in, you hit the floor running and it was just plain sailing, going straight through the year?
No, I don't think any part of my life has ever been plain sailing. But what I felt at the time was, like most young women or young girls, like we do grow up fixated about with the idea of being famous or well known and people noticing you in the street. So in the beginning there was a little bit of that, and there was, seeking validation as well, like, and having a sense of value that people recognized and understood. That came with it as I was younger. But as I grew older, it became much less about wanting to be or prove how pretty I am or not. Do you know what I mean? It became
Yeah.
much more about a strategic move with financial targets and goals. I treated it like a business. I don't think every model lasts 20 years or longer, and I don't think that comes from being the prettiest or the most photogenic. I think it comes from having a clear strategy, both financial and career, and from agency perspective for so because I've handled my career differently as I changed and as I grew older and wiser at different times. So not plain sailing, but I'm very happy that I made it what it was, and it worked very well for me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.